Hey everybody, Tom here to tell you about a couple of great books on social media marketing that I found that have really helped me out. And by the way, I'm standing out here in front of this Volkswagen bus because I thought the last thing the world needs is another book review with a guy sitting in front of a bunch of bookshelves of his computer. But anyway, let's get to it. I recently have had to become more involved in social media marketing as opposed to just using social media. I needed some help. And these are two books that that were recommended to me and have really helped me out a lot. The first one here is called Social Media Marketing by, you may have seen it, it's by a guy named Dave Kerpen. It's in its second edition now. It's been really successful, and it's what I call a handbook to social media marketing. It really covers all the basics, things from what time to do your posts, suggested topics, covers all the major platforms, and it's very, very up to date with the latest information on things like Instagram. So as an overall book, this is definitely one to check out. Definitely not for the power user, the expert. A lot of the stuff's going to be repetitive, but for anyone starting out or even past that, there's lots of good information in it. Very readable. It's not a boring book. It's something that you can pick up and get through pretty easily and take away a lot from. There's a lot of great things about the book. There's way too much in both of these books to talk about here today, but one of the things that Dave does great and recommends has lots of tips on is for small business using social media. It's not just for big companies to do large campaigns. He gives great examples of how to scale down social media elements for the small business person. He also recommends small business people have got a lot more to do than just spend all day tweaking their social media. Dave also has some great examples of storytelling, which social media marketing is really all about, creating that dialogue between yourself and your followers, creating great stories. He's really, really good at that. He talks about, it's really funny, he talks about his wedding, how he actually got sponsors for his wedding. He turned it into a social media marketing event, which sounds on the surface super tacky, but it really turns out that it was pretty tastefully done, I think, and it helped build his brand at the same time. Not something we can all do, but a great inspiring example. He also talks about some companies that just don't lend themselves so much to storytelling. Example would be the financial services industry. He talks about JP Morgan Chase, and they're a bank. Like, how many great stories could they have? Well, they've done a really good job with it. Moral of the story is, any company, any organization that's got stories to tell can sometimes just take a little bit more work. So this is a really good book. I totally recommend it. The other one's a little bit different. It's called Unmarketing. I say it's a little bit different because it's about marketing in general with an emphasis on social media marketing. It's by a guy named Scott Stratton. It was recommended to me by someone I call a social media marketing expert, who told me she learned a ton from this guy. That was good enough for me, and I'd have to agree with her now. Scott's definitely an opinionated person who to use a cliche, he thinks outside of the box. A lot of the stuff that he talks about are things that you can use, and just really trying to do things differently than have been done in the past, and that's one way to break out of the norm and get people to listen to you. Some great ideas in his book. One of the things many great things, but one thing he said that really spoke to me was to give yourself credit. Don't be afraid to call yourself an expert in your area of what you do, your business. So many people feel they've got to do something for 5 or 10 years before they can call themselves an expert. Not the expert in a field, but an expert. People are, when they're looking for help and looking to follow you on social media, they're looking for guidance. Don't be afraid to give yourself some credit and build on your successes. That's what's going to have people come back to you. He talks about one of the main things he talks about to create content called Stop, Start, Continue. What he means by that is you can create posts and engagement with people, asking them what you're doing right in your business, what you're not doing right, and what you should be doing. Everybody likes to be heard. Everyone likes to have their opinions listened to. It's a powerful way to create your own, really your own real-time focus group. Just one idea he's got. But overall, I guess it's not an idea about his book, but I love the tone so much. Scott's not afraid to talk about his own failures, some epic failures. This is a guy who's had huge successes too, with viral videos and his own YouTube channel. As a speaker, but he's not afraid to talk what didn't work for him and how you can avoid the same pitfalls. And hugely entertaining. It's not very often. I've read a lot of business books, but not too often do you find someone who's got so much good to say, so much original content, things that are so wise, but at the same time just so funny. So I would absolutely recommend this. This book now is a few years old. He's got 4 or 5 books now, but content by him definitely worth checking out. Sort of wrapping up about these 2 books, the one common theme in them is that they are both solid advocates of authenticity and transparency, and that's what you've got to be successful in social media marketing. Traditional marketing has been a push model with companies just pushing out their message in a one-way communication stream, and that just doesn't cut it anymore. You've got to be yourself. You've got to build up your following over time, and it's not a short process, but over time it's probably the best way to engage your customers and build your business in an authentic way. Anyway, that's my thought on these 2 books. You really can't go wrong. If you follow what they're saying and work hard at it, you'll be better than most people out there in the social marketing space. So thanks for watching, and all the best with your business.